Hi, welcome to Gaze Planet, the show where two boyfriends kiki about all things K-pop. I'm Miles.
I'm Andy.
And we are back from Mexico. So this month we're gonna go to Gay Watch and talk about a few things. We saw Young Posse in concert. We also watched a little bit of Starlight Boys, and there's like a video that's not getting a lot of views and I want to talk about. And then we're going to go to Comeback Corner and kind of hit on 3 girl groups there. Sorry, boys, there's still nothing to talk about. Then we'll have our closing question. It may or may not be deep, depending on how we feel by the time we get there. And then we will end on a song that you need to know about. So let's go. Okay, we saw Young Posse on what was basically Chicago Halloween.
Halloween.
Hella freakend. I was nervous going into this concert. I don't know how you felt, but I was like, okay, they're so young. They've only been around for a year. Can they fill a concert? It's like, I mean, we love them, but I was like, it's one thing to be like, we love their music videos and we love their recorded songs, but it's another thing to be like, can they give us a live concert experience? Because we obviously were a little burned by Blit.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we saw that.
Yeah, I forget about it. Honestly, like, you just don't always know going into it
what you're gonna get.
But Young Posse is one of my favorite K-pop concerts I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah, it was great.
And dollar for dollar for what we paid, because I think it was like...
Because they paid us. They said thank you for coming and handed us $5.
They threw it into the crowd. For what we paid, I think it's the best value K-pop concert I've ever seen. Because it was like a $50 concert. I wore a Spider-Man costume thinking that more people would be in costume because this was the Saturday before Halloween. So I was like, oh, you go to the concert in costume and then we went to a Halloween party right after. But I think there were like 3 of us in costume.
Yeah. But if you like were walking around outside of the venue, people are in costume. So
yeah, I didn't feel crazy.
Being Spider-Man.
I felt famous because people were like, yo, I didn't have the mask on, but I kind of like... I don't want to say I'm Peter Parker-y, but Peter Parker is a white dude with brown hair, and that's what I have. And then he has, like, stubble now, and that's what I have. So, okay, this is why the concert is good. Who Young Posse is lends themselves to being a good live experience because they have really big choreography.
Yeah.
Where a lot of K-pop choreography is built for the
tight
for the camera, little finger movements, shout out Eyelet. But Young Posse's is, like... It made me appreciate their choreography a lot more, like how different it is from other groups. It's
like big, wide, swinging movements and moving like as a group. They did a lot of that, where they're in a formation, but they're going to the right and then coming back and then going to the left, which I don't think you see a lot of. Because so many things are about framing the girl in the center. Yes. And they were more of like a cohesive...
Like a crew.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like loose. The choreography is very loose, so they can...
I think it's supposed to be much harder to do.
Oh, really? Than like tight...
Yeah, because you're...
Control.
Yeah, you're like throwing your arms where they all need to be in unison instead of like, okay, everyone have their arm at 90 degrees. And I only know this from watching these shows where the girls are like, the easy stuff is hard. The things that look easy and laid back are the hardest.
Yeah, well, I mean, they made it look easy. You know, it was just a great concert. I mean, they don't have enough songs to, like, fill a concert, so they did a lot of cover songs in the middle.
Like 7 cover songs.
Yeah, but it's a
huge breadth of
material.
Yeah.
I don't even remember everything they did besides, like, Skater Boy. They did Begging by Maneskin.
They did the Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah, controversial. But it was what I wanted also from cover songs, where they're like, we're going to do cover songs, but then we're going to add in a Korean rap, or we're going to...
Yeah, they did Levitating with a Korean rap.
By Dua Lipa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a duo.
Yeah. Yeah, it was stuff like that where I was like, oh, the Young Posse brand is pretty simple. It's like we're K-pop mixed with American hip-hop, but then you can just refract everything through that lens and you can turn every song into a Young Posse song by just like doing their style of choreography and like putting in some Korean rap. I got everything I wanted though because one of the members cried and... My very first K-pop concert, I saw KARD, and there was a whole moment where one of the girls from KARD earlier in the tour, I think in Seattle, had said the N-word, and then every subsequent stop of the tour, she was giving an apology speech for saying the N-word, and then... Which
oh my God.
is so amazing because she's giving the speech entirely in Korean, so we can't really understand it. And then Matthew from KARD is like... Y'all, this is what went down, y'all. Like, he's also explaining. And then I just love concert moments, especially with K-pop, where it's like their perfectly planned concert, like something's unplanned or off. And Yeonjung from Young Posse, she's the one that if you're listening to Young Posse, she's like, la 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 lee lee la, yummy yum. Like she's that one.
Yeah, she's like a creepy voice.
Yeah, she's like a little like witch. She had a neck injury, which they didn't say up front at the concert, but I was honestly most impressed by her because she would step away from the choreography, like off stage.
In like a fashion where it was barely noticeable.
Barely noticeable. And then she would pop back in for either the choreography that she could do or her own part. But it was so seamless. Like she knew the exact moments to step in and she would step into formation perfectly. It was like really impressive. So then when they drag out the Office sticky note, yeah, this is the part of the concert where I went to buy merch. She starts crying because she apologizes for the neck injury that she can't give everything she wants to give. And I had felt bad for her, like, before we knew it was happening, like, when they were doing XXL or Ate That, I think, and she had to step out. I was like, oh my God. She's on tour for the first time, doing a big hit from her group to an audience. Like, everything she's been waiting for is happening, and she can't be a part of it. Like, that does suck. Mm-hmm. But she apologized to us for not being able to give us everything she could show, and then she starts crying, and she steps behind the easel and is, like, crying behind the easel of questions, which is so amazing. God, it's what I wanted. I mean, she's great. I was impressed by her almost more than anyone, just how she could step in and out like that. So the concert also gave me what I wanted in at the end. They do an encore. And guys, I don't know if you took French class, but encore is the French word for again. I think what a lot of concerts treat it as is plus, which is the French word for more. They'll be like, oh, you want more? We'll give you the song we held back. We'll give you that hit song that we've been tricking you that we weren't going to do. But Young Posse were like, we are going to do the hits again in like kind of like a medley, more relaxed fashion. But that's what I always want in concerts. I'm like, I want Ate That again. And I want, like, on YouTube, I can go back and watch it a second time, which I often do. But at the concert, it's like you blink and you miss it.
Especially these things with these complex choreography, you're just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm seeing it in person. And then it's just done, and you're like, okay, well, I'll never see that again. Mm-hmm. So when they do it in the encore, I do appreciate that. It
just wrapped everything up in a bow, and I think the highest praise I could give is it gave me the same amount of hype that I felt when I saw Aqua. Where I was just like jumping up and down in a different vibe because it wasn't like oomph Euro music. It was like hip hop, K-pop, but I really got like so hyped to this. I would say if you can see Young Posse, like see them. Definitely see them. Even if you're not a fan. I don't think there's like a better value for your money. Really.
You say after we saw them 1 month ago and their tour is finishing.
Well, I mean, next time, like I would go. That's one of the concerts where I was like, I want to immediately go again. I want to feel this like hyper feeling again.
Yeah, I think if we saw them and then we randomly were in a city a month later where they were at, I would see them again. But I would not.
And then one last gay watch. I do want to shout out. This kind of came and went, but there's a video called the SM 30th Anniversary Brand Film. SM has been around for about 30 years, and they did this brand film that kind of starts with HOT in the 90s and then brings you fully forward to Rise and aespa in the present day of SM, but it's walking you through
everyday Korean lives.
Everyday Koreans experiencing the music, either watching it on TV. It's kind of like every mode that you could. There's like an iPod. There's a truly like weird MP3 player that looks like a tube. Watching it on TV. There's an international fan that gets like an NCT album, and she's just like a black girl that gets an NCT album in like shipped to her in a box. I was like, oh, they really thought about the international fans' experience of K-pop, like before you could go to Target, like getting stuff shipped to you from Yes Asia or wherever. But it's just a really well-made, like, emotional film, and I think SM Entertainment, like, really more than any other label, knows its legacy and how to build it, and knows that they've been around, and I don't know, it just was smart, and it took me back to, like, the time not that long ago where SM was, like, the #1 label in Korea, undisputed, and now with HYBE, I feel like it doesn't feel that way anymore. I feel like for a long time it was like Girls' Generation, EXO, like Super Junior, like SM felt like K-pop to me, even though I've always been more JYP Entertainment, but SM felt like they were the ones pushing things forward. And they still kind of do with aespa. I always think of aespa as like the group that's there. The concept is like, we are the future of music. And so I still feel like they feel like the forward thinking company, but okay, let's go to Comeback Corner. I think we owe ITZY an apology.
Well, they had a double A-side.
Well, I didn't pay attention that it was a double A-side of Gold and Imaginary Friend, which was the sleeping title track that now I'm like, I don't even think about Gold, and to me their comeback single was Imaginary Friend, which we will cut in here.
The song seems like very anachronistic.
Sometimes you need the anachronistic song. Sometimes you need the Lovesick Girls.
Truly
said to be a song from 2012. Like, they have said
I just went to the filing cabinet and we're like, what do we have in here?
Because it's like, we lived through all those times, so it's like, yeah, sometimes you want that sound back. And like, Imaginary Friend.
I don't even know when it sounds like it's from, but
not now.
Not current, but in a good way.
It's kind of what we were complaining about, how we wanted to see something like only ITZY could do. Like, how can you keep moving the ITZY brand? And it didn't seem like they always knew what to do with it, but this song is like, ITZY's gonna be sad, which last time when we talked about Bet on Me, you were like, there's something so compelling about seeing the cool girls be sad, which that's what this feels like. And then they're like, ITZY's gonna give you like incredible choreography, thoughtful choreography.
I wonder if, so Twice has gone from cute to this like Bond girl after the Bond movie, like living her elegant island life, like quiet and alone.
Bond girl, like, she got fucked by a Bond and then went to the island.
Yeah, like after the movie, like, what is the Bond girl doing with the rest of her life? And I'm like, is Bet on Me and Imaginary Friend ITZY's like more grown up, like regal woman titles?
Yeah, I would love for this to be what's next for ITZY.
And also, if you have like members leaving for a year because of anxiety and depression, you can put that into your music. You don't have to come back with a song that's like cake, 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 when it's not a piece of cake.
Yeah, oh, that's true, yeah. Okay, do you want to talk about STAYC or Babymonster first?
STAYC came back with GPT.
They say GPT!
Tell me, I'm calling you GPT. 대답해줘 GPT. 뭐가 궁금해? 이대로도 충분해. 눈에 별빛이 say, and I want you to say. 그만 모르는 척해줘, baby, I love you.
I can't speak to what I just cut in because I cut that in later, but like, when I was thinking about this, I'm like, will I even cut in the chorus? Because I think there's stuff really cool instrumentally in like the verse of the song.
You're like catch me, 손을 내밀어도 just like trap me. 너 번째 짜린 car.
This song, feels like a return to like Stereotype.
Yeah.
For me, because I remember when I first listened to Stereotype on headphones, I was like, oh my god, the instrumental is so complex and constantly changing what instruments we're hearing, percussion, speed. And that's what GPT, it feels like there's a lot. It's a really detailed sound.
It's like a STAYC sound perfected.
Because STAYC they have one songwriter, which is, I think, Black Eyed Pilsung, who wrote a lot of the early Twice songs. So I think this is like his project group. So I feel like he can go in and spend more time. He can get even more detailed with STAYC songs. And that's what sets them apart from other groups. Like, other groups are never really going to get that level of detail.
Yeah, because he can work on the song
as much as he wants.
As much as he wants, instead of just being like, okay, well, I've got 2 days with the girls.
Yeah. I have been very confused by Isa's hair. During promotion, she's had both, like a wavy bob, which looks incredible on her, and then she's also just had like long hair.
They just have had wild hair in this era.
I know.
Because they'll have full heads of hair, and then you see them the next day, and they have bobs, and then a shaved head of the third day, and then they have like full manes.
A bald cap. I'm like, what's the wig? Which one is the wig? Like, I don't know. But yeah, to me, it was like a return to form. Okay, and then
Babymonster came out with their first actual song.
So Babymonster came out with Drip, and I'll cut that in.
What you say? 끝없는 가지, you know it's on me. 가자. What you say? Are you ready? Set, turn on the lights. Baby got passion, ambition. 난 보란 듯이. Look at that 온몸으로 느끼는 내 몸짓.
The song is like all about moments, which I really like, but it's like, here's your rap moment, here's the ballad moment, here's the chorus, here's the twerking part. Like it's cut into like segments, which I always think for like a 7-member group, then yes, you give each person a moment to do something different at the front of the formation. But no, Andy, you're right. It does feel like they finally arrived.
Yeah, instead of just picking up sheet music off of Jenny and Lisa's floor and making that into a song, they are doing a little bit of their own thing.
I'm calling it Blackpink's microwave leftovers.
When your friend forgets their leftovers in your fridge after a night out, and then you just eat that for breakfast the next day.
That's what sheesh and batter up
Yeah, that is what.
were. Babymonster, I'm curious about because they've had huge fans like from debut. And I can't really fault the fans because I've maintained interest in them. Maybe because we watched the last evaluation show.
Yeah, I mean, you just are shown that they're all excellent at what they do.
It gave me expectations for this group. I'm a little annoyed that the last evaluation show came out so long ago. Like, we watched that before A2K. Came out in, like, spring of 2023, but this group took so long to debut, and then Ahyun wasn't there, and then the initial songs were bad. So it's like, now we're finally here, and I'm like, wait, who's Rora? So I do feel, like, a little annoyed at that, but is this group doing anything new? No, but in an era of, like, a lot of groups trying to do, like, New Jeans, 50/50 Eyelid, like, the softer
Beige
side,
pop.
beige, it's nice that we have something like Babymonster where they're like, we're gonna have high notes, we're gonna have fast actual rapping, we're gonna twerk, like it's just full. Like Drip, I was like, yes, this is the full K-pop experience, and we've kind of moved away from that a little bit to just like a pop experience, but this felt K-pop to me. Now it feels like they've turned over and they're doing something that speaks to their talents. All right, and now we are going to closing question.
Okay, what group would you like to see go on hiatus for 6 months and then come back, new style, new look, new concept?
Okay, not Kepler. First answer, not Tippy Tap by Kepler. Promise 9.
I always say sounds like part of the penis. Like, it sounds like a flap of skin that, like, connects something to something on your penis.
I just feel like what they were doing has kind of run its course, and now they're just doing, like, Whispering a Tinashe song, which I guess found success. But as far as what to do with them, I would love them to work with Xenomania. They're a British music house. They made the song Believe by Cher, and then they made all the songs for Girls Aloud. So they kind of, to me, invented this, like, chopped up 5 songs in one structure that K-pop started doing like 10 years ago. And I just feel like nobody on earth is using them anymore. And I'm always like, K-pop, they're right there. Like, so I would love for From to be like, look, no one's using them. We need a new sound. It would let them be quirky, but it would let them have songs that are hard hitting. I know nobody wants hard hitting because we're in the era of beige, but call them Promise and get them to work with Zeno.
Okay, I am rebranding Kiss of Life.
Whoa, but people, they're like beloved.
But they are just a mix of ITZY and XG. And their styling is horrific.
So bad, guys.
Like, ill-shaped bodysuits. They look like they're wearing... You know when there's, like, girls on Drag Race that are bad designers, and then they just, like, glue stuff on a bodysuit, and it's ill-fitting, and they walk down the runway with it?
Oh, and then... No,
that is what Kiss of Life is wearing. And hoods up, and... Ugh. But I'm like, Kiss of Life has all the parts, so I'm rebranding them as Kiss of Summer. So they're gonna have like the Sis Star Sound of Summer, and they're gonna be.
Well, Julie's from Hawaii.
Yeah, there she knows what summer is.
Yeah.
I mean, because they're like already sexy girls. They have really good singers. So like, let's just make a belty summer anthem.
They did it a little bit with like Sticky, I think.
Yeah, no, Sticky is what I'm basing this off
Yeah.
of. But I do want this like hip hop cave people look to end, and
Yeah.
put them in some hot pants, lifeguard outfit.
Yeah, there's something to be said when you take the group with a high concept and you just give them something simple. Like we saw that with aespa when they had that summer song, Spicy.
Oh, yes.
Like where they're like, we're not going to do the future concept right now. We're just going to be like a pop group.
We don't need to throw Giselle through a building in this one. We can just
Yeah.
dance next to a pool with our pinkies up.
And the Kiss of Life, it would be nice. I mean, they're not high concept, but I think they are like, Are We Destiny's Child is kind of their concept. But it would be nice just to give them like a big pop moment.
Yeah, I don't need to see them dancing in a CGI Parthenon again.
Yeah, so that was our episode. We always end on a song, and I don't know what that is.
Oh, I was thinking we should do Dita.
The Dita.
Yeah. So K-pop is crossing borders.
So we want to end on this song because Eyelet had the song come out called Tic Tac. It's very fun. It's like video gamey. But it reminded us of something from RuPaul's Drag Race UK Season 6, Episode 1.
We haven't confirmed that Dita wrote Tic Tac also, but
There's a queen called Dita, who's the oldest queen on the season, and she does like the talent show number, and it just is the same
It is
thing
the same
as
song
the
as Tic
Island
Tac.
song. So that's what we're going to leave you on. This was Gaze Planet. You can check us out on Instagram at Gaze Planet Pod. You can leave us a review anywhere. We would love it because it just honestly tells us who you are. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye, boy.
bye.
Dita dita da 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 dita 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 da da